So I'm going to start. Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all today to this exciting and insightful do-along session. We will delve into the world of AI and try to apply things that we have learned till now practically. Today, we'll be first focusing on setting up your AI toolkit with Doyle. She'll try to guide us through various differences between the available AI models, and we'll explore some hands-on use case using ChatGPT. In the last session, we'll also demonstrate how AI tools can revolutionize the creation of PowerPoint presentations. So before we begin, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the esteemed President of Indian Fertility Society, Dr. Talwar sir, and Dr. Shweta ma'am, Secretary IFS, for their visionary leadership and the unwavering support. Their commitment to advancing our field through this newly available innovative technology has made today's session possible. I'd also want to extend a special thanks to the experts and critics who have joined us today, Dr. Bindu Chimote ma'am, and we're waiting for Dr. Bhakar and Dr. Rahul Sen to join us shortly. Their insights and feedback are going to be very valuable, and we are honored to have you with us. So let's make most of this opportunity and jump right into this and get started.
Bindu ma'am, I think you need no introduction. Ma'am, I think first of all, we would want you to tell us about what has your journey towards AI been. It has been around since almost 2.5 years. Have you tried it? What was your feeling when you tried it? And are you using it regularly? So we all want to know what everybody else is doing. So over to you, ma'am. Please share your honest experience and honest perception of what you feel about AI tools around you.
Well, thank you so much, Doyle and Pranav, for this opportunity. I have really had a lot of reading to do before I have come here. And I decided that I would make it a general thing. I would not stick to specific, I would not go into specifics. I'll stick to the general things. And to begin with, I would like to quote a very famous quote by Bertrand Russell. He says that science may set limits to our knowledge, but it should not set limits to our imagination. And I guess with AI and all this wave that is going on, the wildest of our imaginations have been let loose. Anything that can be conceived is actually possible. Oh, just a moment. Prabhakar is there. Would he like to speak? Because I thought he's in a hurry or something. So I can stop if he wishes to speak first.
That's very gracious of you, ma'am. I'll just ask Prabhakar. Hi, Prabhakar. Welcome. Great that you're here. Just a couple of minutes delay, but we just asked Dr. Bindu to get started. And if you don't mind, we'll go with Dr. Bindu, ma'am. But in case you are having...
You're on mute, Prabhakar. Hello?
No, let madam finish.
Thank you so much. So we'll do your
let madam finish.
Sharing at then 6:55 at ma'am's slot, if that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome, Dr. Prabhakar, and thank you for letting me continue. Well, so with that little quote, I would say that it would be a very saintly figure who leads a very simple life with no social media, nothing, who is untouched with AI. Apart from that, anyone who is anyway associated with any social media, uses any technology or gadgets, is consciously, subconsciously, knowingly, unknowingly a part of this AI wave. Right from when we use our smartphones, when we use Facebook, the kind of recommendations that we get to watch on series on Netflix, the movies, all that is governed by AI. So our choices, be it for shopping, for watching TV, they are all governed by this artificial intelligence, and the whole algorithm that is set of the network system that gathers information of what we are doing. And so all that we use, right from Siri, Alexa, so it is like a virtual personal assistant to us, who tells us what to do, what not to do, not just does things for us, but also guides us in what and how we should lead our lives. Now, whether that is good or bad is a debatable issue, and that we can judge and decide for ourselves later on. But the good things that I would like to mention is that, like, the translator, right? So the language translator that is used now, it tries to bridge the gap between people who seemingly cannot communicate because of language barriers. So it's not just about a translation of some words. There are some very smart algorithms used now, where there is a context-based translation of language so that people can communicate with one another. So apart from the Facebook and social media and the Netflix and Amazon shopping and all that, the good part is about the language translation tools that are available now. Also, which is practically in use is in terms of agriculture, I would say, where there are those algorithms which can predict, depending on the weather conditions and everything, which is the best time, prediction of how and when the fruits and I mean they will ripen, and how and when to harvest. All this is driven by AI. I mean, I'm being very general in my statements because that is how the general population relates to artificial intelligence, right? So all our choices are dictated by artificial intelligence. The futuristic in science with respect to agriculture, I could think of. And most importantly, if we talk of the field of infertility, well, it is not just restricted the kind of possibilities that are there. It's not just about selecting the best embryo, but also the prediction models where see, as it is, we have been talking about customized protocols for patients. So now with AI, it becomes more easier. It will become more easier if the data can be fed, and the entire stimulation regimen, the entire regimen that is to be given to the patient is provided to us depending on all the material and data that is available, and the treatment protocol, the selection of embryo, and also the future health. So this is very important. In our field, we have been concerned about what will be the future health of the individuals born out of IVF as well. So if we have a holistic program or a software which can predict, which can decide, which can predict, and which can warn us about the possibilities, nothing like it. So it is a wonderful concept. It is there whether you like it or not. So love it or hate it, it is there. So only concern is that it shouldn't be like what we talked of plastics many years ago. When plastic came into existence, it was like a wonder drug, and indiscriminately we have been using, and it has been extremely helpful in many ways. But now, if we talk in terms of the long-term effects of the use of plastics, we are seeing where we are today. So undoubtedly, it is a good technology that has come into play. It has many advantages, of course, but the word of caution is that we have to be very discreet, like any other technology that we talk about, and this more so because it deals with our day-to-day life. It may question our intelligence as well. So we don't want, okay, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, but in the long run, it should not harm the humankind in general. Like plastics, when we say today how harmful they are, and we are trying to get rid of this menace now, what once had been like a boon. So with all this, it has been a very generalized thing, but in a nutshell, I have tried to touch upon the things in the 5 minutes that have been allotted. I'm sure there will be some very specific points that will be taken over by Doyle and Dr. Prabhakar and Pranay. But therefore, to end, I would like to quote another thing by Martin Luther King, who had said many years ago, of course, that our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. And we have guided missiles and misguided men. So when we talk of these technologies, and especially this one, which has very, very rapidly become a part of our lives. So when we talk of this technology, we have to be really cautious of how to go about it. There are immense possibilities, and therefore, to add one last line from my own, what I felt is that the dumbest of the dumb will be driven by AI, but it will be the smart and intelligent which will drive AI for our own benefit. So it has to be a tool in our hands. We are not to be driven and governed by AI. So the last point has to come from the human mind itself. We should not, otherwise we would become slaves without any, what distinguishes us from all other species is our intelligence. So it should not, we should not let it govern us. So we have to be still more sharp and alert, that we have to use this technology for the larger benefit of humankind. That is all I would like to say about it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was, I think you had a huge overview around AI, but today our task is to actually onboard everybody to start using tools which can make our lives simpler. And, we all are short of time. So if we can save time by using some AI tools, then might as well use it. So let's all get started. So I have
Well,
some.
before you get started, I'll just want to reshare the vision. The vision of these series of webinars is not to use AI in just confined to our field of either embryology or reproductive medicine. Our field and the field of our president is to enable each and every one of us to use AI to make our day-to-day tasks simpler and, like you said, get on board. So that is our task, how to start using ChatGPT or PowerPoint presentations or whatever. So we had a series of 3 or 4 webinars. We had experts in, and perhaps it seems that we did gather a lot of information, and it might be a little overwhelming to listen to it from the point of view of an expert. So what we tried to do was and walk everybody through it ourselves. So we'll try to do it we are just as lay as you people are, or as expert as you are. So let's see if we are able to do this together. So without further ado, Doyle would start with the AI toolkit setup. And if I may, yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a pre-recorded lecture, so I'm starting.
Welcome everyone. Let us quickly learn how to set up your AI toolkit. I call it a toolkit because unless you have all the tools that you need to build something readily available in a toolkit, you would lose time in searching them when you actually need them. So basically, I am teaching you how to organize your Google Chrome with bookmarks so that you can arrange tools based on the tasks that they perform and use them by a single click when you need them. This is how my Google Chrome looks. As you can see, I have the bookmarks organized neatly with icons and names that are representative of the category that they belong to. This section, this bar actually is called a bookmark bar. So a bookmark can either store direct links to your most visited websites, or you can organize them with folders that contain these links, like shown. ChatGPT is directly placed on my bookmark bar as a link, as it is something that I visit and use every day. As you can see, I have neatly organized folders categorized based on their use. I have a folder called Clinic, where I have all my clinic specific links like Practo, my clinic's websites, dashboard, CCTV link, etc. I have Research folder, which has all the AI tools that are specific for scientific literature writing. I have Publication folder that has links for all the editorial managers. I have Productivity folder that has links to all the tools that I frequently use for various tasks like Copilot for image generation, Tiny URL, Tiny images, etc. You can also add a subfolder within a folder, like I have added Images folder within the Productivity folder, to add all the websites that are specific to image editing. For example, I use Feedpick, Flaticon, Copilot for image generation very frequently. So let us see how you can create and organize bookmark. So go to the 3 dots on your Google Chrome, then go to the bookmarks and lists, then choose the bookmark manager. On the bookmark manager, again, go to the three dots. You can see that you have options for adding a new bookmark or adding a new folder. So I want to create a new folder called content creation. I also want to add an icon to the folder so that it is easy to identify it. Now, unfortunately, the only way to add an icon to a bookmark folder is by adding an emoji to it. So let us go to ChatGPT and get an emoji for content creation. You can type in, please give me an icon for content creation. Choose the one that is appropriate and you can copy it and append it either before the name or after the name and click save. So this creates a new bookmark folder called content creation. Now you can open Canva. Once Canva is opened, you would want to add it to the new folder that you just created. For this, you should choose this star-like icon, which is called bookmark. You can also edit the name of this bookmark to something more representative. For example, Canva. Now you see an option of adding it to a folder. Choose the folder that you just created for image editing and then press done. This will add Canva to the newly created content creation folder on your bookmark tab. I would highly recommend everyone to create their own AI toolkit for AI tools that they would want to use regularly. Some of the tools that I use very frequently are Microsoft Copilot for image generation, NodeGPT for YouTube summarization, and Photon for AI-based image editing. We might take few of them in this lecture and few in the next session.
All right, so this was about the toolkit. The next one is about the basics of ChatGPT and the difference between various
Let us all
models.
get started with a few basics of ChatGPT. It is important to understand this before we start using ChatGPT. First of all, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So GPTs are a platform that enables natural language conversations with advanced AI or advanced artificial intelligence. Now, natural language conversation means you don't have to use special commands or technical terms or know computer programming to interact with the AI. Instead, you can just type or speak to it as you would when you're talking to another person. Let us open ChatGPT and get started. The first thing that you should do is to go to the settings on this top right corner and choose the theme. Most of the times when you open up ChatGPT, it opens up with a system theme or all white looking interface. You can choose a dark interface from here. The next thing that you should do is to turn the personalization on because you would want the AI model to know your preferences and more about you so that it can respond to you based on your preferences. The next thing is to understand what model of GPT are you using for the free ChatGPT account. So just click on the top left corner on this dropdown, choose the upgrade button, and you can clearly see that you have access to GPT 4.0 or GPT Turbo Mini and a limited access to GPT 4.0 or GPT Turbo. So the main difference as a user would be that when you open up ChatGPT, you will be able to upload documents using this attachment icon and ask questions based on the document you just attached to ChatGPT for a few prompts. But after a few prompts, you will get a message like this. This means that for future queries to ChatGPT, you will have to just use simple text-based queries, and now you will be communicating with the lower version of the model. And clicking the attachment will give this info until the time limit mentioned. There is also another option on the left pane called Explore GPT. This will display other pre-trained GPT models that are being used by other users or are trending currently. Function. As you can see, the most popular ones are the ones for image creation, Canva, video GPTs, etc. These GPTs are organized based on domain, and you can click on the top tab like productivity, research, education, etc. to reach the specific section. The most important and confusing question that we all have with so many AI models available these days is that which one should you use? That is, when to use ChatGPT, when to use Claude, and when to use Copilot. So the one-line answer is that you will need to use specific models for specific tasks. If I have to use an analogy, then just like as you go to a higher class, you have a different teacher to teach different subject. And it would be wrong to ask a chemistry teacher a question specific to physics when you're in high school, right? So when the query is simple and basic, you can ask it to any model or any teacher. Like a class 3 teacher can probably handle English grammar as well as basics of multiplication. But as you go higher, you would want to ask the question to a model trained for that task. So let us first check the 4 models in question and compare them for speed, data recency or data cutoff, and capabilities. As you can see, the free version of ChatGPT uses a combination of GPT-4 and GPT-4.0 Turbo Mini and has a combined data recency of October 2023, which means any query where recent data is needed, like when did John Skerman, who was the co-founder of OpenAI, join rival Anthropic, it would not be able to tell you the exact date, which, by the way, was 6th of August, which is just a week back. At the same time, data recency of Sonnet 3.5 happens to be April 2024. So it has access to more recent data, which is good when it comes for research. So basically, if your question or task needs latest data, ChatGPT will not be accurate. Another AI model that I use frequently is called Perplexity. Perplexity is a conversational answer engine. I quite like the name, which uses Claude model family to deliver factual and relevant search results. So it is much better at research as compared to the ChatGPT free version. The models used by Perplexity is a mix of Haiku, Sonnet, and Opus. Also worth comparing is the model capabilities of these models. So like you see, ChatGPT free version, which uses both ChatGPT 4.0, which is the Turbo Mini, and the ChatGPT 4 version, is very good at general purpose tasks and queries. It is actually very good at formatting emails, writing content, and general creative writing. So for most of your day-to-day tasks, ChatGPT is good enough. But for specialized tasks like financial data analysis or legal document review or enterprise level document queries like analyzing complex Excel sheet formulas or querying complex Excel sheets, Claude will do a better job. As mentioned before, Perplexity, which uses Claude model behind the scene, is very good at research-based tasks. To end the demonstration on the basics of ChatGPT and AI models, let's explore one of the most fascinating applications of AI, that is the ability to create stunning images from just simple text descriptions. All these hyper-realistic images that you see on the screen have been generated by AI model called DALL-E. So DALL-E is a text-to-image model developed by OpenAI and released in the year 2021. The latest version of DALL-E is 3.0. You can access DALL-E through either the free account of ChatGPT or through Microsoft Bing. But as shown in this slide, the ChatGPT free account has access to the older model of DALL-E, that is DALL-E 2.0, while Microsoft Copilot Bing has free access to DALL-E 3.0, which is the latest and the better trained model. We will take up the text-to-image generation basics and the use of AI tools for social media content in the final episode of our AI webinar series next month. So do tune in. Thank you.
All right, so that's about it. The presentation is done. So now I think we can have Prabhakar share his views about his experience with Prabhakar. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So Prabhakar, welcome to the webinar and thank you so much for joining in. And I think I already know that you have used AI tools from my last time's experience on the debate. So what we are interested in is what is everybody, at what platform is everybody at? Where, how many tools have you used? What is your perception around it? How frequently do you use it in your day-to-day daily life to organize things around you? So do share in your views.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doyle. My Wi-Fi is a little scratchy, so let me know whenever it kind of
I can hear you.
wavers. So just yeah. Okay, great. So I have been an early adapter of OpenAI ChatGPT. Started using it like 2-3 years back, the free version, just to play around and see what it can do and what the hype is all about. Even though a lot of the technology is integrated into our smartphones and tablets and TVs and speakers, that is a very passive technology. So when you want something active, like you want an output, you have to be engage with it. Like then it's not a passive tool. You have to make it work. It's like a PowerPoint presentation. You have to make the presentation. You will not make it on your own. So with the new version, GPT 4.0, so initially we started doing something which we all are very scared of, that is statistics. So I used two apps basically. One is the ChatGPT 4.0 and the Claude AI, the Sonnet version, which does not have data handling, but it does do a lot of brainstorming, if you want to call it that way. Though the ChatGPT 4.0 does do a lot of data crunching if you upload, Excel sheets and all those data. So primarily, what we have done is that all our data that we get generated from the labs, I'll be very specific to how we use it in our labs, is we put it up on Google Sheets. So everybody is, putting up KPIs, data of patients, and embryo development sheets, outcome sheets, abortion rates, pregnancy rates, live birth rates. So we try to track as much as possible, as long as possible for each patient. And then we have a lot of data coming on from the andrology labs, like, we are doing DFI, we are doing semen analysis tests, and there's a lot of data coming, like age of the male, their habits, their what are the sperm count, motility, morphology, up to DFI and all the advanced sperm function tests. It becomes very tedious for us to we get very scared about doing statistics. Like, how do we interpret this data, right? You have an Excel sheet with, say, 300 patients. You don't know how to interpret it, right? It's just data. It's just raw data. Data to bhar diya humne ek saal mein. But so what we started doing was we started putting up these Excel sheets in the ChatGPT, and it analyzes very fast. Like within 20 seconds, it is like, now I'm ready to answer your queries, and then you ask them specific questions. And once you ask them specific questions, they can do tremendous. You can evaluate correlations between the fields that you have put, like what is the correlation between age of the male and DFI? Is there a correlation? Very simple. If you have 100 patients, सबके age लिखी हुई है, सबके semen analysis लिखे हैं, सबके DFI लिखे हैं. Very simple query. If you want to do that, it is very difficult for us to do correlation analysis. It will give you a nice answer to that. Tell them to visualize it, make a visualization. It gives you a nice chart of a correlation graph between age of the patient and DFI. I'm giving you a very simple example. Now you want to dig deeper. So if you want to see whether DFI is related to morphology, like if the morphology is poor, is the DFI. So it gives you whether there is this. So this is a very simple thing. If you're looking at KPIs, now in KPIs, we make control charts. We usually make it manually. We make pivot charts. You're looking at control charts of all the data that you have and whether you fall in the KPIs or on that. It does that for you. You give him the data, tell him this is the field, look at the blastocyst development rate, and make a control chart of, say, 2 standard deviation. And it will give you a nice graphical control chart which will tell you what is happening. Now, if there is a dip in the KPI, you can ask it, correlate it with, say, patient demographics. Like in that phase, we got bad type of patients. So is it correlated to that? Is it correlated to the change if we change the batch of the media? So it can do so much. It is just that you have to ask the right questions in the right way. This is something that we have started doing a lot. Like every month, we just upload the file. And now that we know how to do it, it gets very easier because you know what questions to ask. The questions are ready. I don't do toolkits that much because somehow I have never got into that. But this is something very interesting that we have started doing in a lab. I don't do social media flyers and all that. So there's a dedicated team which is doing that separately. So maybe they must be doing Canva and all those things. I usually don't do. Then the second thing that we started doing was making our own model for analyzing embryos. So you can make your own model. It's a little expensive, not much. You need a little bit more. You can put in images, train the model, and then start getting predictions. It's not very difficult and it's not very expensive. I mean that is something to the so we are looking image analysis by using AI. That we have started
By
doing
training the model,
and trying to figure out.
Prabhakar, what do you mean by training the model? Which model are you talking about?
So you create a dedicated model.
Okay.
So this is like a code.
Okay.
It's not the nascent ChatGPT model. It's like a machine learning model, more like a machine learning model, where you create a code and you ask it to, you give them, say, suppose you upload an image of an oocyte and you upload an image of blastocyst, and then you tell them, okay, this one became blastocyst, this one became blastocyst, this one. Now I'm giving you an oocyte. Now tell me whether it will become a blastocyst or not. Very simple, like something like that. So you can do that also. You can give data, you can create that code. Like that coding is not very intensive. I mean, we can't do it, but you can get a very simple coder who uses Python and you can do that. So I'm just trying to experiment whether we can do images along with data. So this is what primarily we do almost. Drafting emails is very nice. So ChatGPT does that very well. If you have to draft a long email or if you want to draft appointment orders, so they can almost everyone uses. But in IVF, I have found it very powerful in terms of the data handling that they do. So that's it. If you have any questions.
All right. I mean, I think you are pretty pro then. We guys, even I don't do the data analysis as much, very honestly. But sometimes I feel that sometimes I don't trust whatever they are doing because of things that have failed for me. I have given them examples where I knew that this data is not right, but once that it hallucinated, then I stopped trusting it. Maybe I should build that trust again. Right.
Yeah, you can do small data sets
Yes,
where you know what is the what it is.
Yeah.
And I think ChatGPT is more about understanding how to query or what do you want to prompt. It can calculate p-values, it can do chi-square test, it can do a t-test, it can calculate coefficient of variance. You can calculate the coefficient of variance in this particular field and it will give you that. So what we need to understand is we need to understand that we need to prompt it properly, right? So you have to tell them what is your role in data handling and then take it from there. So it's very nice. When you're talking to your team and making presentations or giving them like, what happened in the last 6 months, it's very useful because it gives you all those data visualizations and then you put it up to your team. You see our blastocyst rates have stabilized, they're not going up, what we can do. And then, you can do a lot of discussions inside your team when talking to students, lectures, and it's great actually.
All right.
Can I just say one thing? I mean, it has really been an eye-opener for me that someone is actually doing this on a daily basis, and it is so helpful not for your day-to-day clinical practice, but also in terms of research. Such a wonderful tool it is that you are doing. And so, Doyle and Pranay, I think you have had two people of extreme spectra, one totally really ignorant, and one is so
So ma'am, our job and I think our expectation is after all of this, you guys should try it.
yes.
Then you should also come at par with everybody else. You should.
So, I mean, I have already thought of my next CME here in Nagpur. I would love if you all can come down here and give a good demo of your experiences here. I mean, give
Sure,
lectures
ma'am.
and demonstration. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhakar. It has been really an eye-opener and worth the wait. I mean, I was feeling a little guilty of pushing you back till 7 o'clock slot, but
No problem.
I apologize for that. But yeah, I mean, you've set a high standard for all of us, because I will, in the next few minutes, I'll talk about where I have been using it in the very skeletal manner that I have. But yes, Dr. Bindu ma'am did mention a point regarding research and perhaps publication, which brings me to a point that as peer reviewers, we are having a very tough time scrutinizing a lot of papers that are coming across to us, which are all AI generated. And uh, it is a plea to everybody who is sending in papers for publication that do not indulge in these tools as of now, because these can very well be picked up. It will perhaps lower the chances of acceptance of your manuscript, even if it is original, if you send something like this across multiple times. Because of day before yesterday, I had to review a paper that was for an article for a journal, and the article was 50 pages long with a lot of repetition, and you could make out that it had been just concocted using AI. So that's a plea of caution. With that, we'll go on to the next session.
Just one more thing. One more. Yeah, Pranay. Just one more thing I wanted to add. I've recently started using Grammarly. You guys use Grammarly, right? So Grammarly is basically a grammar software. Yeah, it's a grammar add-on. You can just add on to your Microsoft Word or Pages or whatever, wherever you are typing. Now Grammarly has integrated AI. So now you get two icons. One icon is just check the grammar and correct it, and there's another icon which will prompt you to maybe rephrase the paragraph, like get the tense proper. So Grammarly has also now back in, like Canva is done for images. Grammarly has integrated artificial intelligence at the back end. And now you can tell them, okay, make this into 150 words, make this more professional, make this crisp. So you can tell them like, okay, my audience is doctors who are very intelligent, working in this field for 10 years, make it appropriate for them. So it will use language and vocabulary according to that. So the idea is not to then copy and paste it, but then again redraft it, use those words, use those that backbone. So the way to beat peer reviewing authors is you get the skeleton from the ChatGPT, and then you redraft it according to your thing, and use ChatGPT to make it crisp. Like you said, 50 pages, right? Nobody's going to read that. So you have to make it crisp. You can do that. You can ask them to do 250 words. You can ask them to do 100 words, and then they do that. It's actually beautiful.
Yeah, I think there's an option in ChatGPT to humanize the text. There's a column wherein you can go in and you can humanize it.
Text.
Yeah. So with that, I'll jump upon some
Yeah.
basic demonstrations of how I use ChatGPT. I'll try to share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
It's blank. Doyle, can you confirm
Yes,
that? Yeah. So up till now, I've been using ChatGPT very minimally, in the sense that I've used it a couple of times designing some exam questions for some of the exams that I have to take as a part of a faculty at one of the universities. It really helps because you have to make multiple sets of the papers. Eventually, the final paper will be a pick and choose of all these questions. So what I have to do is make like multiples of 10 sets of embryology papers. So it really is a help. The other thing is perhaps report analysis. So let's jump into it as to how to go about it. So this is actual walkthrough. You open your chat GPT, and for some reason it doesn't open. Sorry about that. So I can open one of the previous windows that I was working at. So when you open the chat GPT, like Doyle showed you, you'll have these prompts wherein you can choose to upgrade or work with the basic version. There'll be histories of what you previously have worked up with. And Doyle also showed you the Explore GPT option. So the first prompt that we wanted to work upon was a simple social media post. So again, since my net seems to be down, I really don't think so. It is down because I'm conversing, and some for funny reason, this thing is not opening up. But I do have this opened up previously, and let me run you through that only.
Go to Google and try ChatGPT. Yeah, try that.
Yeah. So you'll have to perhaps log in.
You must be logged in already, right?
Yeah, but this is for some reason not opening up, which is
Let's
okay, which is okay. So the first thing that we are going to show you is a simple social media post. So I had the privilege of speaking to an audience of young embryologists on just this 10th of August. This was a Shivani Scientific Meet, and I was talking about a lecture that I gave on optimization of embryo culture. So this is a prompt that I gave in, that write a social media post on having attended the said meeting on such and such date, or talking on this very topic, and mentioned so many delegates in attendance, and express gratitude to Shivani Scientific. So it within like 20 seconds or less, I had this post generated wherein a crisp, succinct post which said that on 10th of August, I had the privilege of delivering a lecture on optimizing embryo culture with on this topic with nearly these many delegates in attendance, and it did what what I asked out of it. And this is exactly the so now I'm toggling between my Facebook. So this is exactly the content that I posted utilizing this. And similarly, I've used this previously on multiple occasions of lately for various social media posts. And I just have to give the precise prompts. So the other thing that was asked of me to demonstrate was something that our fertility consultants are asked very often, that medical leave application. I'm pretty sure everybody has a set format for that, but just to make the audience aware that in case you don't, simple prompts like medical leave application from a fertility consultant, you can put in your name here, advising bed rest for whatever indication. So like for patient ABC, 14 days following history of bleeding at 6 weeks. So this is the duration of the medical leave, the indication, history of bleeding at 6 weeks of gestation following IVF and embryo transfer. And again, a very crisp and succinct letter to the employer. Dear employer, I'm writing to inform you that patient ABC, who is currently 6 weeks following an IVF embryo transfer, has experienced a history of bleeding. I advised the patient to take bed rest for the next 14 days. And during this, so it does the needful. So I think that if you don't have pre-made templates for some of the things that you're working on, it's a very useful tool, because for some of the other things that wherein you just have to fill in like gynae scans or antenatal scans, you have a pre-filled, pre-made template where you can just fill in. But for something that's sprung out of the ordinary, this is a very good tool where you can generate uh, entire documents with minimal prompting. So the other thing that I would want to be a little fast with, because of the to the time. I again, Doyle told me to keep it crisp, because this was something that I wanted to demonstrate, that just giving a prompt like make a Facebook post for, sorry, not this one, make 10. So people who are doing their social medias themselves, people like Prabhakar or Dr. Bindu ma'am or Doyle, who have dedicated social media teams, this is done on for them. But for people who are starting out and who are doing all the micromanaging themselves, something like ChatGPT and Canva are God given, because simple prompt like make 10 Facebook posts for an infertility clinic's social media promotion, focusing on impact of lifestyle on infertility. And just this much combined with Canva can do the job. So this was the prompt that I gave in, and immediately I got 10 Facebook posts with appropriate icons. Like post one was about healthy lifestyle, healthy fertility. Second was about smoking, appropriate icon. Exercise, again, appropriate icon. And you had 10 of these posts generated in a Jiffy. And what you could do is just go into Canva, type in, go into the search button, type in Facebook post, and it would throw up the templates. You could pick one. I picked this one, and you can just copy paste from these posts. Like I picked the post one, healthy lifestyle, healthy fertility, just copy pasted, and this was it. You can modify it. You can do the minor tweaking, and something that would have taken us at least 10 or 15 minutes. And if you actually dedicate those 10-15 minutes that you would previously do for one post, you can get done with the entire social media calendar for the month. So this is again something that is very time minimizing, in the sense that you can get done with a lot of social media posting in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes, and that does it for the entire month. Something else that was suggested to me was the use of ChatGPT for analysis of patients' documents and medical history. So instead of using, so we have to be very cautious with regards to the use of attachments, though it has been made amply clear that, sorry, I'll just put it on a blank screen because I don't want the audience to read too much into it. We have to be mindful that we don't share sensitive information. Even though it has been made amply clear that this information that we attach or ask for it to be scrutinized is not stored on servers and it is deleted. So when it was asked of me to scrutinize patients' documents, I thought what better than ask the ChatGPT to analyze a sensitive document, not simple enough like a CBC or a prolactin or a thyroid, but actually a blood report of beta HCG done 14 days after embryo transfer. So let me see if, yeah, this has started working. And again, one of the audience members asked me, do you have any kind of ceiling for the basic non-paid version? So I'm using the ChatGPT basic version, and you can see that if I do have some kind of ceiling, if I use this prompt, analyze and summarize the attached report for a beta HCG done, what I have to do is I have to attach a file. I'll upload it from the computer, and for this patient. So for the sake of maintaining patient confidentiality, we have removed the patient's surname and other identifiers. And this is real time now. The ChatGPT has started working. And this is real time. This was done 2 days ago. It was showing a beta HCG of 21.6. ChatGPT's interpretation was that it is considered positive indication of pregnancy because it is above the threshold of 5. And without any further prompting, I also asked in one of the prompt that I gave in the second half of the prompt was write a message for the patient advising depending on the report value. And this is what it came. So since it was in the range of biochemical, it was not reassuring value post embryo transfer. The message generated for the patient was, dear ma'am, your beta HCG of 21.6 suggests an early pregnancy. However, as the value is on lower side, we recommend testing it 48 to 72 hours to confirm that the levels are rising appropriately. And so you have to be mindful that repetitive prompting will generate different results, because the last time around when I prompted this using a different tool, which was the Claude AI, it gave me a more elaborate report. So it gave the patient summary. This is now Claude AI. For the paucity of time, I'm just showing what I have previously searched on. I had the same prompt, same document attached. It gave the patient summary in regards to her age, the date of collection, date of testing, beta HCG, indicating a positive pregnancy, and the suggested message for the patient was a little more elaborate. They say that though the beta HCG is positive, it is important to know that the levels are relatively low. We hope to see values above such and such, and we recommend repeating the value, containing medicines, avoiding stress. So a very patient tailored, and this isn't something that I was uh, expecting from something as skeletal as the non-paid version of ChatGPT or Claude AI. So this is something that you can use, perhaps not use this directly to send out messages to your patients, but have a template design. In case you don't, it's a very good idea to have a template design using this ChatGPT. And the fourth thing that I was supposed to demonstrate was flyer designing and flyer proofreading. So sometimes what you can do is, in case you are designing a flyer, let me just scroll through where I have. Yeah. So this is a flyer that we designed. This is for the upcoming. This is what Doyle designed. She's the quiz master for the upcoming embryology SR.
I didn't design it, I got it
Uh,
designed.
Yeah. So we purposefully kept a couple of spelling mistakes in the sense that cash prices for winners and so on. What we did was we just had to attach this, and the prompt was, "Can you proofread the attached social media flyer for spelling and grammatical mistakes?" And it came out with flying colors. It just said that the cash prices for winners should be corrected to cash prices. And similarly, a second spelling mistake was picked up. You can also, and the last thing that I was wanting to show was that in case sometimes when you are have committed to a conference, or as even as a delegate, you're wanting to search somebody's involvement in a conference, because as a uh, delegate, whenever I go to a conference, there are certain speakers that I would want to listen to. You can scrutinize the entire exhaustive document, the conference flyer, and you can, for example, this is an upcoming commitment that I have at Fusion 2024. All of you are welcome to join it. It is a joint meeting conference by Eshrei Sar and IFS. It's going to be held between 13 to 15 September at Jaipur. And I just wanted to know my involvement. So the prompt that I gave was, please scan the attached conference flyer and highlight the commitment. Sorry, a spelling mistake, a typo. The commitments for Pranay Ghosh. And based on this, the Claude generated based on the conference flyer provided, you have two commitments. You are listed as a speaker for this session, and then you are listed as a panelist for this session. So uh, this is, I mean, something that I would feel that if you haven't had any exposure to use of the ChatGPT or Claude AI or any of the generative tools, it's a very good idea to get started, and it will help you in your basic tasks like flyer designing, social media posts, documents like templates for scans or medical leaves, and whatever we have demonstrated. So that's my time. I'm pretty sure I've impinged on Rahul's time. Rahul is going to jump right in and show us, walk us through the use of AI for generating crisp PowerPoint presentations. So without further ado, Rahul.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening to all. Yeah. So we have been discussing a lot about AI, how AI is basically getting into our nerves in our daily routines. So that day, me and Doyle were discussing about how to chart out this session for AI. So uh, let me share my screen first, and just a second. Is it visible? screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. So just a few days back, I was basically asked to present something on embryology that is related to a fertilization failure. And before I start with my uh, what I have done, all these things with I would like to know uh, about how long do you take in preparing scientific presentations? I'll ask all three of you. Means what time do you invest basically in getting the presentation ready for any conference, web meeting, any lecture, anything? Means I
I
would like
take
to know.
around 3 weeks at least
3
more
weeks.
because I work in the mornings. It takes me 3 weeks.
Rahul,
Yes.
I'll have to confess that I try to recycle through most of my presentations. I have
Okay.
made presentations as short as on the flight to the conference, and it has taken me over, for some of them, it has taken me over a month. So if it is a debate, especially with a worthy adversary, I mean, it will take me more than a month because I wouldn't commit otherwise. So, but and on an average, I would say perhaps 3 days,
Hmm.
even if it is a new topic that I have no material on. Yeah.
Yes. And Bindu ma'am, the same thing I would like to
Three
ask
to
you.
4 days, 3 to 4 days at least.
Yes, yes. So actually at that day, I was asked and I was given a very limited time frame, not more than a week time frame it was there. And just now Prabhakar commented something on that AI cannot make presentations for you. AI that I asked Google, that I asked ChatGPT, can you make me presentations using AI? So ChatGPT just uh, gave me some few ideas, and by those ideas, I have something to share. Can you see my video? There's a video I am sharing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So this was the paper I was asked to present, and this paper was published in Human Reproduction in 2023, a very recent paper. I basically did a videographic presentation because I was afraid that I could hamper with my internet connection. So I have prepared a video how I prepared my presentation. This is 9 minutes and 43 seconds. I'm sure it will not be 9 minutes and 43 seconds. It will be a less time because I was toggling with screens and jumping with here and there content. So I'll be starting this video. I got this paper downloaded because it was a free access paper, and this paper was published by Romaldo, a dear friend, and Dr. Sandra Esteves. So again, the same thing I am repeating what everyone was saying, that I have downloaded this paper, I have uploaded this paper on ChatGPT, and now I am giving this as a correct prompt. What actually you want to say to ChatGPT means you want to make a PowerPoint presentation for clinical embryologist, reproductive medicine specialist as a part of journal club which I am going to present. So I have given a very clear prompt, whatever it was there in my mind, that this is the situation, this is the criteria of my presentation. I have not even checked any spelling mistake there while giving the this prompt to chat GPT. So this prompt I have given it, and this was the final prompt, that give me a presentation to present it on embryologist and reproductive medicine specialist, and as a part of journal club, give me a detailed scientific presentation layout, and the paper is attached with it. So ChatGPT has started working on it. And meanwhile, I was having my time. I was seeing what things are being done with ChatGPT. ChatGPT has given me many slides, slide numbers with are there on it, and it has given a detailed graphical presentation that how this presentation or how this layout layout of your presentation can be made in a particular fashion. And I was not very much happy with this layout, because much of the content was missing in this presentation. See, I cannot present my presentation with this much of data only. Like, see, yeah, there is a yeah, there is a slide number 6 which says oocyte related factor and factors, genetic mutation. The content is very less. See, I cannot give my presentation in this particular fashion. What I have prompted again to ChatGPT is, okay, please give me something in detailed with proper scientific evidences. So I have given a prompt to ChatGPT, give me more deep insights for every slides in terms of scientific evidences. And now ChatGPT has started working on it. And meanwhile, I got a call also. I got my call checked. I sent few messages to my team on WhatsApp. And meanwhile, ChatGPT was doing its task very well. And just after a second of time, I saw back on ChatGPT, what I've created is this presentation. Basically, I made it using Google Slides. I hope everyone is familiar with Google Slides. So I have started getting a blank presentation using Google Slides. And meanwhile, ChatGPT was doing its own task. So this is what I have get my Google Slides ready. Now this content of my presentation is ready. I was very much happy, and I was very much satisfied what ChatGPT has given me. So now when you are on Google Slides, I'll just take a step back. So when you are on Google Slides, there will be an extension option here. In this extension, there is an app script page icon is there. Better go on the extension and click on the app script. So app script page is basically a draft page on how you can get your presentation ready using AI. So this is the exact what you can say, the hidden feature which was there in the Google Slides, that how you can access Google Slides using AI and for making your PowerPoint presentation, and that too again in a scientific manner. So then I was very much satisfied, and now I prompted ChatGPT that yes, now create me an app script code for Google Slide of this above presentation what you have drafted for me. So ChatGPT will be drafting on an app script Google Slide code for me. So I have given the prompt, and in meanwhile, what you can do is you can remove the space clear, and this is what a JavaScript app script code is basically getting ready for us for our scientific presentation. So yes, it takes, I think, not more than 5 to 8 seconds, and just after that, see what thing is this chat GPT is going to do for us.
Rahul,
Yeah.
पूरी hacker वाली feeling आ रही है.
Yes, you can do it. You can do it. Literally, at the end of this, I will show you that this presentation was made not more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm to feeling आपके चरण कहाँ है प्रभु?
अरे मैम,
आपके तीनों के चरण छूती हूँ मैं. My God, how much we slog.
And yes, ChatGPT is giving me the whole code of my presentation, and this is how it was getting ready. Now ChatGPT is clear. It has given the script code to you. There will be a space to copy this code just onto the above portion. Yes, there is this copy space. The code is copied. Just simply go there on the AppScript page, completely paste this code. There will be there is an execution log and there is a save button here. Better to save the whatever project you are starting, save the project and start the execution log. Run button will be there. So run your execution log. Now the Google slide, this Google slide app script is basically running what you have entered this as an app script. You have to give your review permissions, like you must have entered your valid Gmail ID there. The Gmail will take the permission, the Google ID will take the permission to access your ID, and then it will start with the app script code. Yeah. So now execution has started and oh my God, there is an error. So this error was there. Don't worry, ChatGPT is here. ChatGPT will help us that भाई जो आपने बना के दिया है, there is an error. So again, ChatGPT has apologized that there was a mistake, there was an error. So ChatGPT is giving an updated version to ensure that placeholders are created and accessed correctly. Now ChatGPT is giving again the full code sheet for, I'm just taking the video, slide video ahead. And this is what ChatGPT is giving. Now this whole code is ready. The code is copied. Again, delete whatever you have pasted before. Start a new code. Run because it was saved previously. Execution is started. Execution is completed. Now, partially, you can at least satisfy yourself that yes, this presentation is already made. Now, where to access this presentation? Apni presentation to ban gayi, but now where to see that this presentation is located? Now, you have to access your Google Drive. You have to access your Google Drive, and this on the Google Drive, voila, your presentation is ready. And this whole complete scientific presentation which you are ready to deliver, this is ready. Just a few edit it requires. You can do your editing like with the name, and not only with the design, you can design your whole presentation, background, layout, theme, transition. You can do it on using this on just a few clicks away. So this is how I presented my this paper, this paper of total fertilization failure as a part of Journal Club. I created this paper using AI because it was a very less or limited time frame I was given, and this is how this AI has helped me in making presentation in within like 10-12 minutes.
Well done, Rahul. Absolutely great. I'm so proud. I mean, it is nostalgia for me. वो code run और code error देख के ना मुझे 15-20 साल पहले की याद आ गई.
For the delegates, Doyle comes from a engineering background.
background.
Yeah, I mean, the code, whatever code was being printed, now we had a term for it. We used to say sari sukhana.
Yes.
So
But tell
and-
me, Rahul, this was
Yes.
just one paper, Journal Club. Now,
Yeah.
if we have to prepare an actual presentation where we need to assimilate data from many papers,
Yes, ma'am.
and will it also give you the graphs and everything?
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. But
How did you know
I,
that you can use this?
I was actually asking ChatGPT, show me how I can make presentation. I have very less time. I was giving nuisance, whatever the prompt which was there in my mind.
I mean,
I
this
was-
app script and all that, how
Yeah.
did you give that prompt? Were you aware of it?
Yes, I was aware earlier, but I need to know how it actually functions. So this is how this ChatGPT helped me and prepared whole this presentation of 15 slides, and all with complete scientific evidences, all with complete scientific data. So
Bas, so I will outsource now my slide preparation to Rahul.
The worst part is we can't even
Yeah.
deny any commitment to any conference, citing that we have too less time for preparing presentations.
Yes,
Rahul, I have
and
to-
this is not only the means the text part. You can also upload pictures using the help of AI. So in the next, I think, Doyle, we can plan something
Yes,
in
yes,
the next session, that how we can actually get the pictures also incorporated in our presentations, because that requires only the link, means wherever from where you are getting the pictures, you just need to mention the link. Even it's there in your computer also, there will be a folder link. They will automatically take that picture and paste it on your presentation. So this is how this was actually amazing for me also, because it was my second presentation which I prepared. so so this is how I saved my
You can
lot
start a
of work.
side business, Rahul.
Yes.
Thank you, Rahul. I have to confess that it has been very succinct, and if I may, without upsetting Doyle, it has been better than some of the AI experts that we have gotten in, especially for the.
You don't have to upset me. This is the entire reason why we started to do this on our own, because we were not happy with what we got before.
Yeah. So wonderfully done. I mean, 10-15 minutes, you've done the job, and I wasn't expecting this because we have used AI to create presentations. You are using PowerPoint 360, and but this using the script and all and app script coding and all this. I mean, I've saved the prompt, create me an app script code for Google Slides of the above presentation. So yes, I'll use that, certainly use that for future. So with that, I think we have already overstepped the time limit for today's webinar, but it was wonderful. It was fruitful. It was a learning experience for me.
For me too, Pranay. I was not even sure about this app script. I didn't know that. Rahul, thank you so much. And it was very kind of you to have offered to come and do this. I didn't say that Rahul do this. He said, "Okay,
We were discussing this thing. Yeah, we were discussing this,
thank
and
you so
how.
much,
Yeah.
Rahul."
I hope it
I
has been
think
fruitful.
tables have turned. Doyle, you called us as experts to speak on AI, and I mean, I feel I'm so small today after seeing all of you all presenting in such wonderful. What a tool it is really. And so I could not offer anything, but I have learned such a lot. I mean, you have enriched me today. I have been a disappointment. I'm so sorry
No,
for
ma'am,
that.
not at all.
I'll confess that usually I did mention that I take 3 to 5 days to work upon a upcoming webinar or a presentation. For this, it is just the prompting. I just sat for 5 minutes yesterday. I gathered some beta HCGs from day before yesterday, and that's it. And uh, I can say that the level of the friendliness that I have with the ChatGPT just 24 hours ago versus right now is like way off the charts. So it's just using it, and I'm pretty sure this will, and we have to keep on using it because it changes so frequently. Yeah, that's one thing that we were discussing. So I hope it has been very a little fruitful for the delegates, because it has been immensely useful for at least us. If the participants have any questions, they can ask us. We have tried answering some of them in the chat box. We are always available in case you have any more questions that you conjure up. We can. So I was looking at the charts screen. So we can address them in the future webinars. We hope to have a focused webinar on just PowerPoint presentations, because I think it is one of our pain points. Yeah, we will do that certainly. And I can see that today we were expecting I will confess that we were expecting a little lesser audience participation because of the 15th August and the weekend and the long weekend. But I can say that it has been a concentrated thing that has come across to us. When we started with an audience of 100. But those who have stuck behind for the fourth or fifth webinar is a concentrated lot, in the sense that everybody wants to learn IVF, but then finally few people want to learn embryo biopsy, so it thins out, and you have a set of dedicated lot who actually wants to learn. So rather than the audience itself, it has been a learning experience for all of us as well. You can see our enthusiasm with regards to learning from each other. Thank you again for being a wonderful audience, and if I can ask Joel to just wrap up the ceremony.
Yeah, I think I'm actually in awe of what Rahul has presented. Absolutely great. And like Pankaj Talwar sir envisions, I really think everybody should start using ChatGPT or other like AI tools to make time for yourself. I use it very frequently for scheduling my syllabus for my child, breaking up into this, then financial transactions, snapshot of things, and then summarizing it. I use it to save time so that I can spend that time in something that I like. So it is really very helpful. You won't believe the kind of things that can be done. Maybe we can take those personal time management use cases soon in the next ones. We have a long list of things that we need to do in the next sessions. So, or maybe we can have like an AI specific workshop sometime in the near future conferences. And that will be great. Ma'am, you wanted to add something?
No, I just want to say, really, it is an open invitation. You all decide amongst yourselves when do you have time to come down. I would love to host you here in Nagpur and have a nice day-long CME workshop, whatever you would like to call, on this. It has been an eye-opener for me. I mean, I really am living in Stone Age, I felt. So when can you come down, Rahul, Pranay, Doel, and even Dr. Prabhakar? Just really, I mean, I really seriously mean it.
Thank you so much for the invitation, ma'am. Always up for Nagpur. We'll try to just swim through the already the
tsunami of webinars and conferences.
Navigating through right now. And our hesitancy as so-called experts, we are no experts. Our hesitancy is that we want to have enough knowledge to be able to do justice to whomsoever is attending. So perhaps at least I haven't reached that level yet. But yes, I think with repetitive usage, repetitive learning, we can perhaps do a decent
I
job.
think, Pranay, what happens is when you have to present something, the best way to learn is to teach. So when you have to present something, that is when you actually go and you find out how to do it. So yes, I think we had, after the session that we had last times, a few experts and all, we decided we want to do it ourselves. Because first, we understand our fraternity better, we understand our age group better, we understand the expectation what you guys have better than anybody else coming from a younger lot expecting something and wanting to sell stuff. That's a different story altogether. So I'm very happy that we decided to do it on our own, and the future sessions also will do the same and hope to cover much more useful things so that it saves time. That's the main thing.
I'm happier today with the attendance of 15 than I was happier than at an attendance of 100 plus in the first webinar. So, yes. So
and thanks, Rahul, again.
Thank you, Rahul, again. Yes,
So,
you were
again, I'll add one more thing. We'll have a next session again where we can add pictures in it. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll keep that again.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. And hope to see you again in our penultimate or ultimate session of AI. We'll see. All right.
Maha episode.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us. Have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, all the experts and the critics.